I vividly remember how excited I was when I first heard that Samsung was working on a foldable smartphone. The whole idea of one device pulling doubles as both a phone and a tablet sounded like a dream. And that dream not only came true, but was refined this year, with the release of the more polished and sleeker Galaxy Z Fold 2. So how does it feel using the best folding smartphone available right now, long past the honeymoon period? Well, I'll tell ya. Hi, I'm Rado with Phone Arena, and you're watching our long-term review of the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2. Let's start by addressing something simple. Is this phone easy to carry around in your pocket? Well, it's easy to put inside a pocket, but pulling it out of your pocket is definitely not as effortless as a normal smartphone would be. Because the Galaxy Z Fold 2 is a thick phone and pockets are normally tight, it is pretty hard to pull out, especially when you're sitting down. I found myself discouraged from even attempting to use it during car rides. This might sound like a minor gripe, but if you're getting this smartphone, you should be aware of the quirks you'll have to deal with, and this is a frequent one. Now let's turn our attention to the phone's displays. The glass-covered outer display you'll be using when the Galaxy Z Fold 2 is closed is just wonderful. It's a bit too narrow for social media browsing, so photos look tiny, but it's more than adequate for the occasional quick task, such as making a phone call or checking your mail. You won't always want to unfold this phone, and you won't always need a large display, in which cases this small external one is a great alternative option. Now, going from the outer glass display to the inner folding one, you'll feel a difference, and not a small one. The folding screen is covered with a screen protector that me and everyone else who touched it disliked immediately. Samsung does not recommend removing this screen protector, so I didn't remove it, even if I really wanted to, because it just feels bad. It collects fingerprints like nobody's business and you can't really glide your finger smoothly across it. But if we ignore the screen protector, the main display of the Galaxy Z Fold 2 is large and beautiful to look at, bright, sharp and colorful. Watching Netflix or YouTube on this folding screen is a joy, even if there's still a crease in the middle of it. Trust me, that crease never gets in the way or affects the viewing experience. The problem is, smartphone apps are generally designed with tall screens in mind. But when you unfold the Galaxy Z Fold 2, you get an almost square display instead. A few apps, such as Samsung's own, are prepared for the screen's 5:4 aspect ratio, but many other apps look pretty unappealing here. For example, YouTube shows giant thumbnails, so you only see one at a time, and you have to scroll down a lot in order to see all the new videos from your subscriptions. Other apps such as Google Play, Discord, Skype and Netflix look just fine though, so this is not a major issue, just something to keep in mind. Because the Galaxy Z Fold 2's large folding display has a 5:4 aspect ratio, like we mentioned, modern videos and movies will have black bars above and below the picture, as they're made with wide screens in mind. But I've been watching old shows like Married with Children and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which were filmed back when TVs had similarly squarish aspect ratios as the one we have here. In fact, many TV shows produced up until the mid-2000s were filmed at 4:3, so such shows fit almost perfectly on the Galaxy Z Fold 2 screen, no pinch to zoom needed. Of course, that's not to say you won't be able to enjoy your modern shows on the Galaxy Z Fold 2, but they will not fit the screen, so you'll have to settle for the black bars. Aside from that, any movies and shows look great here, and the stereo sound you get from the Galaxy Z Fold 2 speakers is loud and spacious. By the way, this phone is a joy to use, not just because of its cutting-edge folding display, but because it's also a flagship-feeling smartphone with fantastic build quality. It feels great in the hands, the hinge is sturdy, and I'm convinced that this is generally a durable phone. Games look and run great, and Android flies with no hiccups. You can split the screen between 3 apps at the same time, and even more apps open in windowed mode, and they'll all be running smoothly. Speaking of Android, at the time of filming this review, the Galaxy Z Fold 2 is running Android 10 with the September security patch and One UI 2.5 on top. As for battery life, you would think that the unique form factor of this smartphone would have an impact, but it doesn't. The Z Fold 2 comfortably lasts me over 2 days of light to medium usage between charges. It's quite amazing what Samsung has accomplished here by employing 2 batteries, one on each side of the phone, while keeping those 2 sides as thin as possible. And how does typing feel on this large display? Well, as I do on all Android smartphones, I installed Google's Gboard keyboard, which I find to be perfectly sized for thumb typing on the Galaxy Z Fold 2. The width of the main screen, when unfolded, is truly perfect for a comfortable thumb typing experience. Of course, in contrast, the narrow outer screen is much more difficult to type on, but autocorrect helps, and you'll still get the job done. Speaking of comfortable, making and taking calls on the Galaxy Z Fold 2 feels as natural as on any other smartphone. And your voice sounds nice and clear to the people you're calling. Similarly, you hear them loud and clear also, so nothing unusual here. And for the cameras we have on board, all of them are great. And even though I think it's unnecessary, we do have cameras on every side of this phone. You have a selfie hole punch camera inside the outer display, another selfie hole punch camera inside the inner folding display, and 3 cameras on the back of the phone. No matter how you're using it, folded or unfolded, there's a camera facing you and a camera facing the opposite direction, ready to be used. Plus, you can half unfold the phone in order to aim it at yourself or another person, and not have to hold it afterwards, which is one of the many benefits of the strong, solid hinge we have here. So, is the Galaxy Z Fold 2 worth it? It's definitely more worth it than any other folding or dual screen smartphone, as it delivers the best performance, has the most bells and whistles, and sports arguably the best build quality. If you truly believe that this form factor will be useful to you, then it's worth it. And ultimately, what Samsung has delivered here is truly amazing. Check out our full review of the Galaxy Z Fold 2 at phonearena.com if you're interested in learning more about it, and hit that subscribe button for more interesting tech-related videos like this one. I'm Rado, thank you for watching.